everyone, it's Fantasia. So we have some big news that happened in the Sims community. And before we get into that, I do want to clarify some things. Of course, you can just skip to the news portion if you don't care. By the way, the news has to do with like pirating and stuff like that for The Sims 4. We'll get more into it. And also something else that I had just found out that is pretty interesting that has to do with like the future of The Sims 4, I guess, in a way. So before we dive into that, I do just want to say I almost didn't do this video. And then I was like, no, I want to film it. And why am I going to let a couple comments stop me from filming it? I've been like fighting with my brain the last couple days. Like this news came out yesterday and I was like, no, I'm not gonna say anything about it. And then, I decided today when I decided to step away from the EA Creator Network and stop promoting the game and stop, doing content on the game because that's still promoting the game. The whole reason for that was because of the news of the buyout and I was no longer comfortable promoting the game. I didn't want to make content on it. But of course I would say, hey, you can still play what you already have. I just don't think we should be giving EA any more of our money, and you know what I mean? And I do want to remind everyone that I was never like this Sims 4 hater channel. I have dedicated my whole channel to the franchise since the beginning, which was over a decade ago. I've had such a love for this game, and what has happened with the direction of The Sims 4, with the direction that EA took The Sims 4 specifically, and then the news of the buyout, that was completely out of my control. And it wasn't like I was just like woke up one day and I was like, oh, I hate The Sims 4 now. Like, no, this whole situation sucks. I wish it was different because I would still be playing The Sims 4 on my channel. I wish EA didn't go in the direction they went in. I wish the buyout news never happened. Of course, like all of this, I wish wasn't going on. So if I want to come on here and make a discussion video about something that I feel like is important to talk about, then I should be able to do that. Now, it would be a different story if I was like, reacting to a new trailer for the game and I was like, oh my god, cute, but then I'm like against buying the packs. That would be weird. But for me, just coming on here, speaking about this, I already told you guys I was going to do that. Like I said, most people get it, but then, I've just been seeing a couple things that have been making me be like, okay, like, do I do this? Do I not? Like if something feels like I should be speaking about it, I'm going to do that. And especially what I don't understand is like on the videos where I'm actually bringing awareness to something that people should be aware of, then I may still see one of those comments and I'm just like, okay, but I'm literally bringing awareness to these things. Like, you know what I mean? I don't get it. But anyways, I let you guys know from the beginning that I will still be reporting on certain Sims or EA news when it fits. And this, in my opinion, does fit to speak about. And this has more to do with the community, which is also completely different. So you guys may be familiar with Anadius. I've done a lot of news videos in the past for leaks on packs and things like that. Anadius is someone who basically, in a nutshell, was super great at coding, finding codes, finding leaks. Basically, all the leaks would come from Anadius for different packs. Anadius is how we would find out about tons of different things. So just recently, Anadius actually stepped down. So if you're not aware, Anadius was also the one behind the pack unlocker. So that's why I mentioned the whole pirating thing in the start there. And right now, a lot of people don't want to pay for the Sims packs. And so I feel like there's probably even been an increase in pirating lately due to the situation. And so Anadius stepping down has caused a lot of talk in the community. So basically, yesterday Anadius made this tweet just saying, all done, have fun playing the game. And of course, in the comments, there is so much like people freaking out. Below in the comments, there is also some more context, and this comes from Siberian Husky. Context: he decided to resign and no longer update the Sims updater, saying that it is dead now. He deleted all the posts and put this message as a form of irony. And then we have this screenshot here. So Anadius has said here, I decided to step down. Don't pester my close friends. Till the end, I acted like an asshole, and I am and haven't told them the reason why either. Now to address what happens afterwards. DLC unlockers, Origin Unwrapper, and Origin Emulator don't go anywhere. As long as someone else decides to maintain them, they work. Anyone can make a new crack using Origin Unwrapper plus Emulator. Anyone can update DLC unlocker configs as long as they buy a DLC and then use Origin Helper, see the Emulator thread, to get the needed data from your entitlements info from the download tab. Sims 4 Updater is dead, and so is my de novo Qbot. source code for Origin Emulator, DLC unlockers, both version 2 and the one for Mac, and token generator is safe with the moderation team. I asked them to share it with anyone willing to update them in case they break. Everything else I deemed worthy to keep from my GitHub account I'm attaching below. So of course this is just a screenshot. This is all I have here. So of course he does mention here as long as someone else decides to maintain them, they work. Which means those of you guys who do pirate the game, I don't really think you need to worry. There's going to be other ways. It looks like some people have already been trying to take over it, but I don't know. I just saw that on Twitter, so don't quote me on that. So going along with that, there was also a tweet from Cinematically, and I feel like this needs to be included because honestly, I was shocked reading it. So initially Cinematically had tweeted, "We have lost a soldier," and then Tina responds underneath saying, "Please Cinematically take over." Cinematically says, "I can't go to jail, sorry." Tina says, "Do you believe the community will find another way?" AKA another way to pirate packs. And Cinematically says, "What if I said the community won't even have that many packs left to pirate anyway?" So I definitely thought this was important to include because given the whole situation with the EA buyout and, people were already speculating that maybe The Sims is going to end. And a lot of us were under the impression that The Sims 4 still had many packs to go. And they've said that before. And then of course we learned a while ago that there's no Sims 5 and they're just doing Project Renee, which is definitely not The Sims 5 at all. But it is supposed to be the next Sims game, but it's entirely different as we've definitely seen. And Cinematically basically always knows information way ahead of time and stuff. So I do not doubt that this is incorrect. I definitely think this is accurate. And now I'm just okay, wait. I'm curious, I don't know if things recently changed or if there really just wasn't that many packs left, ever since the last few expansion packs. This just brings a lot of questions. I'm just thinking to myself, what if The Sims 4 is over before the buyout even goes through? And that was another reason I really wanted to talk about this. What do you guys think about that? So the buyout goes through in 6 to 9 months. And if there's not even that many packs left, I'm just sat here wondering so many things. And then I'm so is the next one really just going to be Project Renee? A lot of us have been talking about how the best case scenario would literally be if someone else came along and bought The Sims. Somebody good who really wants to make the game good, or maybe even start creating a Sims 5. I don't know. It's just that is looking very unlikely. That would just be the best situation to happen after the buyout goes through. But I mean, even then we would be looking at a couple years at least for something like that to happen. So I truly believe there was still tons of Sims 4 packs to come out. I really did think so, especially with things that they've said. So I don't know, The Sims 4 might be over a lot sooner than we thought. And I don't know if the progression of Project Renee is going to be pushed faster. I know people have been talking about that they may kind of rush it to get it out just because of the whole buyout situation. So you guys can let me know what you think about that too. But yeah, I still don't recommend that you purchase Sims 4 packs. And I am really surprised Anadius went ahead and stepped down. And as mentioned, I'm sure there is way more people pirating The Sims right now. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I just wanted to chit chat with you all a little bit. So leave your comments down below, your thoughts and everything like that. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.